Bucky, please.
Bucky, please.
Bucky,
It's
please.
It's the professionals, our scum and villainy actual play from Dustfire Media. I am Justin, your GM, and today I will be handing out unpopular food opinions, and I want to hear yours as well, too. This one's going to get me in a lot of trouble.
Oh, man.
As I live in Chicago. There are too many things on the Chicago hot dog. It's too many toppings. It's too many toppings. There's too many things going on. I want a simple hot dog. I don't want to eat an entire forest and garden on a hot dog.
That's what a Chicago dog is for. Like, you can have a plain hot dog if you want, man. No one's going to stop you.
No, so look, I'm not saying that's why it's unpopular, right? I'm not saying I can't have another hot dog. I'm saying I think there's too much stuff on a Chicago hot dog.
What would you take off?
Yeah.
What would you take off?
The relish and the
If you
pickle.
say the sports pepper,
I get what you're
swear-
saying. I get what you're saying, Justin. It's not that he can't have a plain hot dog or a hot dog with less stuff. He doesn't want a different hot dog. He's saying the Chicago hot dog is wrong. It's like saying like one of my unpopular food opinions is that the New Haven style pizza is too thin. I don't want a thicker crust pizza. I think New Haven style is too thin.
I understand. Yes, exactly. Because you can get a thicker crust pizza. You're just like, this is a bad decision for your pizza.
Exactly. This is a bad pizza, and people who like it should feel bad.
Yeah.
You should. No, I do like Frank Pepe Pizzeria. I do.
Gross.
I don't know what we're specifically referencing here. It sounds like a fine pizza to me, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I guess. The Chicago dog thing, I don't know. Like, if you're taking out the pickle and the relish, so you're taking out the pickle taste and completely, because there's no relish either. Some sweetness, depending on the kind of relish being used, and the crunch of the pickle, to which you only have the crunch of the peppers.
What if Nick,
which is a different kind of crunch?
For now, what if instead of breaking down Justin's unpopular food opinion, you just express your own instead?
Yeah.
I'm really caught up on the.
I love Nick's candid processing of this though. He's like, but we need to examine this.
But your thought makes no sense, Justin. Let's pick it apart.
I don't know I don't know what it would be.
Well, I have more Chicago hate, I guess.
Oh,
We could call it that.
Sure.
Which
Always
is
here for Chicago hate.
Let's do it.
So I've tried a fair spectrum of pizza, right?
Okay, here we go.
And I think that deep dish is truly a different enough experience that it just should not even be considered pizza. I think it's
most people
effectively
wouldn't disagree with
right, like a meat
Yeah.
stuffed casserole. The sauce on the top changes the experience a ton as well, like in terms of how the flavors hit you, the juiciness, the portion, everything. I just think it's not helpful to the global pizza harmony association, which now exists in my mind.
Are you president now? Did you get elected?
I just elected myself. That's right.
Incredible.
I also am on the board. I'm the sole board member.
Congratulations.
You're all welcome to join.
Start an official
Anthony
official
Bourdain
petition
shared that
to change
opinion as
deep
well.
dish pizza to like
Pizza
Chicago pizza soup in a bread bowl.
We could have a few
See, that
ideas
just sounds
better.
awful.
Yeah, like
here's
deep
the
dish
thing.
pizza.
It's not. That's a
I don't
lie.
like deep dish.
That's fair.
I'm from the East Coast. I don't like deep dish pizza.
I'm also from the East Coast. I do like deep dish. I just don't think it's like helpful
You just
to
don't
think
think
of it
it's
as pizza.
Yeah.
You know, like I just
maybe
think
I would like
it
it more if I
confuses
wasn't thinking pizza when I ate it.
people, right?
Yeah,
I
if
think
you
that
went
might
into it, you
also,
weren't.
yeah.
The problem is I have a hard time classifying it as anything else. Because even a casserole or a soup doesn't like quite
It's
hit it for me. You
Just
know,
make up a name, just like we did for
I know, you
pizza.
can not like it.
Call it pizza.
A pizza.
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 It's an
Pizza.
Italian.
A
It's an Italian
casserole.
shepherd's pie.
I see. Okay, Italian shepherd's pie.
Italian
Shepherd's pie has a
shepherd's
sure.
pie.
Pizza style lasagna.
A pizza style lasagna. Okay,
It's a
there's
pizza
a few
themed
options in there.
lasagna.
You said what, Nick,
Dan-
about shepherd's pie?
Shepherd's pie has a cover.
Yeah, usually
Yeah,
potato.
the sauce.
Shepherd's pie is crustless.
In this case,
you know?
it's
This
the
is the
sauce.
sauce.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shepherd's pie also doesn't typically have a crust, but
Yeah.
it's not a perfect 1-to-1, but I think it's the best.
I think it's hilarious.
Come up
though.
with so
I think
Italian
I'm picturing
shepherd's
something
pie.
very different.
Oh, yeah?
I think I'm thinking of something very different.
Maybe
you're thinking
shepherd's
of-
pie is like a pie.
You're thinking of a pot pie.
Oh,
You're
Am I
thinking of
thinking of
some meat
yeah,
pie.
maybe
pot
yeah.
pie.
Shepherd's pie is like it's like meat and like veggies in like
Yeah,
a
usually
stew,
lamb
and
or
then you put
beef.
like mashed potatoes on top of it, and like
Yeah.
It's not a pie at all, essentially.
Yeah,
it's not
it's
pie.
not a
at all,
pie.
yeah.
We have a
It's
bunch
good.
of poorly named food, so I'm fine to add deep dish, whatever the new
Yeah.
name is, to the list of poorly named foods.
Italian
But-
shepherd's pie.
Yeah, I'm sure that's unpopular because some folks will be like, "This is the best pizza," and I'm like, "It's just a very different food."
Every
So-
single one of
Look.
those people lives in the Midwest, and they're all wrong.
Here's the thing.
Some
I
have moved
am
from the Midwest.
I am neither from the Midwest nor the East Coast, so I feel like I have true neutrality when it comes to pizza opinions.
I don't know. California
And-
people have their own wrong-headed ideas about pizza, but
Yeah, California does have its own style of pizza, so I don't know why.
Back off. The California Pizza Kitchen is a legitimate pizza place.
it's a legitimate business.
It's legitimate business.
It's not a drug
There are
front.
grocery stores. You can find their frozen pizzas there. Danny, you are a chef. I feel like you must have
I was gonna say-
food opinion.
I actually don't have any unpopular food opinions because I am a master of cuisine.
Is that how that works?
That's not what I
don't
was
think
trying to
that's how that
insinuate by
works.
not thinking of anything. Just to be clear, I want to separate
No,
myself from Danny
no,
immediately.
no.
I just didn't think
No,
of something like that.
I'm trying to think. Unpopular food opinions. Filipinos have the best food. I don't think it's unpopular. I think it's just, it's not explored enough.
Popular. Yeah, they should have
Um,
a renaissance. They need to have a renaissance of cuisine for sure.
I think the renaissance of Beak Hole Express is coming,
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
specifically that dish. But yeah,
Okay.
Is it unpopular to? No, I don't know. I can't. Burgers are bad.
burgers are not real.
I don't think you do. You actually believe that? Or are you just saying?
I was just thinking of something. I was just throwing something out there.
Okay.
I think what we've learned is that if you're from either coast, you have much stronger opinions about food.
Oh no, definitely. Oh definitely. Oh definitely.
It's true. It's true. I do have pretty
think
strong opinions
poutine-
about food.
I think poutine's the best way to enjoy fries.
Oh wow, I haven't
don't
heard that
even know
before.
that that's-
Best?
The best.
I don't know that that's an unpopular opinion for people who have had poutine. I don't agree with you, but I don't think it's an unpopular opinion if you've had poutine.
Oh yeah, I guess if you cut it that way,
Have you had
Huh.
poutine for
I
context?
have.
I have.
Oh,
Yeah. I
I
wouldn't say
wasn't
it's
impressed.
The best.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know how
It's
popular it is.
fine. It's fine.
You'll get like weird, not really poutines. It's. I know it doesn't sound like you can screw it up because it's just cheese curds, fries, and gravy, but somehow it gets weird variations. In Wisconsin, it's really good because they use deep fried cheese curds.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Which I mean, obviously, it's gonna kill you, but
I don't think
You're gonna
deep
love
fried
it.
cheese curds is the best way to
Yeah.
enjoy poutine.
I mean, I grew up
actually.
only a couple hours
Bread and
away from
guitar.
You're wrong.
Toronto, so I've had really good poutine in my life, but I still don't think it's the best way to have fries.
that's
Fair.
fair. Yeah, no, I
Which
don't
may,
know that I
which may
agree with
make
that
it
either.
classify as an unpopular opinion.
I do
Well,
really
I
like
guess
that.
I-
But the reason I say I don't think it's unpopular with people who've had poutine is because I know a ton of people who've had poutine who would 100% agree with Danny. I think most of the people I know who've had poutine would agree with Danny.
Even
a very
those who have
comforting food.
also had like carne asada fries.
I guess I don't know the Venn diagram on that
You
specific.
must research, Johnny. We will commission it through Dust Fire's
We just have
vast
very
resources.
complicated food opinions now. It's not even.
There's a poutine-esque like fry here in Chicago. When you guys come, you should try. It's instead of gravy though, it's like pho au jus and like thin sliced
Oh,
like
that sounds
Vietnamese
good.
beef and jalapenos and cilantro. It is so good. It's so good.
It's pretty cool.
I'm very intrigued.
It's great. It's great. I think that's a much better way to enjoy it.
I just like
I'll
really
spend money
simple
on poutine.
Belgian style fries, personally.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if this is a thing other places, like seasoned fries. You know what I'm talking about?
Seasoned fries. Speaking
Like
of seasoned
heavily
fries,
seasoned
Mhm.
breading. Oh, sorry. Going on.
can I hop on my soapbox for just a second here? This is a
Please.
shout out to everybody who
I
listens
mean, we've
to
been
this.
on the soapbox. Let's
Okay.
go.
If you go to a restaurant that is not in California, and on their menu they have a California burrito, do not order it. It is not an actual California burrito.
What constitutes?
I guarantee it.
I've
I don't
never
think I've
ordered
ever
such a
seen
thing.
that.
So yeah.
Here's the California breakfast burrito. I'm about to blow your minds.
Oh,
here.
breakfast
Wait,
burrito.
breakfast burrito
California
or
breakfast
burrito?
burrito. California breakfast burrito.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I think
Alright,
we're tracking
that's-
with you now.
More
That's
specific.
not what you
Okay.
said
Same page.
initially.
This is good.
Okay.
We're doing good.
All right, we're getting there.
It's got like really high quality like carne asada. No beans. If there are beans in your California breakfast burrito, get out of here. Eggs. So meat, eggs, cheese. And instead of like hash browns or any potato options, it's like heavenly seasoned Mexican spiced fries. That is it. Sometimes you might get guacamole, maybe a little pico de gallo, but that's it. That's all it comes in a California breakfast burrito. And it is the greatest thing in the entire world. And I have never
Okay.
gotten it outside of California. And I've seen places that have it on their menu, and it is not accurate. And it makes me so angry.
Yeah,
I'm
I
very
mean,
sorry for your
I
loss.
think that it's like one of
Yeah.
those things where like Southern California has like really specific burrito culture. It is one of those
Yeah.
like food cultures. Like I would compare it to New York's pizza culture, where it's like
For sure.
like you can't get that exact experience outside of that place.
I have very strong burrito opinions, for sure. And I can count on maybe on one hand, the amount of burritos I've had outside of Southern California. And I'm like, that was fire.
But what
One
about
day.
Qdoba?
One day. Not.
What about Chipotle?
Like they are
No.
what they are.
Chipotle?
They're
They are what
fast
they
food
are.
restaurants.
They're
Yeah,
fine
they
for
are
what
what they are. Is a great way to.
It's
They're
like
fine
when
for
we're
what
talking
they're-
about like a great burger, and then somebody's like, "What about McDonald's?" And you're like, "It's McDonald's." That's not the conversation we're having.
It
Yeah.
scratches
What
an
we're
itch when
talking
you
about.
have that itch, but it's
Yeah.
not part of that conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I usually, whenever I try to talk about like a very general food group like that, when like discussing food, it's always breaking down by like at like a diner versus like fast food versus
Yeah.
like like an actual restaurant preparing a food, because there's a big difference. You're getting a different experience each time.
Yeah, and depending
Even
on
with
what
the
food
same
you're
food
talking
items.
about, like that really changes which experience. Like from what I understand, Southern California burrito culture, like if it's not from a food truck, it's probably not the best one. But
Yeah.
like,
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I made some unpopular GM opinions last episode, and I'll probably make some this episode as well too.
You better.
It's my
I
job.
don't know if they're
It's my job.
opinions so much as you rolled very poorly for a disengage, and it's just not been going
your
well
dice made
since.
poor opinions.
My dice made poor opinions. You have been hired by some mems in the Dry Neck Gang, a gang of all Xenos. You have been hired to deliver some laser weapons and some EMP grenades to some of their brothers and sisters fighting the hegemony on the planet Mem. However, there is a planetary blockade that is in between you and landing on the planet Mem. Your idea was to hide inside of an asteroid field, push some asteroids towards the planet and just hide inside of them. However, when you got to planet Mem, you found out that there is a giant dogfight between Hegemony and some rebel Mem insurgents.
Which, by the
You got-
way, just a small detail.
Yeah.
I heard Justin say dry neck gang, like a dry
Yeah.
neck. It's Diranek or Diranek.
Diranek? Oh, okay.
If you're using the existing faction.
I am.
I didn't think of that until you actually recapped this episode. I was like, oh shoot. Graves
Diranek,
spent
you're
some
right.
time in the Diranek or Diranek gang.
Oh,
And so
you
I
did.
should have,
That's right.
I should have like had a bell go off when, talking to the Memish who
Yeah.
were like, oh, we're
Yeah.
part of this,
Yeah.
But I heard dry neck and I was like, well, I don't know what that is.
That's a
Cool.
different thing.
Sorry.
No, the Diranek gang. You're right.
Dry neck is like when I call you Goatman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. The Diranek gang. I maybe have dyslexia, I guess. maybe. Anyway,
I'm not
Nothing else
qualified
can
to say.
diagnose you.
you got caught. You got caught in the crossfire, and Havoc finally got to do what Havoc does, which is just gun it.
Flying ships.
And it's mostly successful. You're really close to the planet past the blockade. However, the hull is incredibly damaged. Gears is holding it together. These stasis pods are failing as Carlton tried to rescue the men, got sucked out of the ship, grabbed it just in time. That is where I want to pick it up. Carlton Graves, you're hanging on the side of the ship. What do you do?
Is this like a roll to resist consequences, or
If you want to resist, you can. We kind of end it on that.
I think I need to accept
consequence
that I am hanging on the outside of the ship at this point in the fiction, you know,
That's
and climb. I need to pull forward. I mean, I'm in space, so there's not going to be, you know, air resisting me or anything like that. But
there are lasers.
There are
all around
lasers.
you,
I mean, depending on what I
But
could
he's not
get
worried
hit.
about the air.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about friction. I'm just worried about lasers. If we get hit, I get hit, you know? But otherwise...
you'll die instantly at the scale.
What action do you think you're going to use?
I think this is very much like another... is the word scrap? Hold on, let me pull it up.
Scramble.
Scramble. I'm scrambling.
Scrambling some eggs, baby.
Could be a scooting roll, but I think it's a scramble roll.
Yeah.
Rootin', scooting, shooting.
Rootin', scooting, and shooting. I'm going to scramble. And yeah, I'm just going to try to climb back through that hole as fast as I can.
Back in.
So that I can get that protection from the ship, but also try to help these Memish folks.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a desperate position. And I think that... I think the effect is limited, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay. Why is it so hard to get back in the ship, Justin? Why?
I mean, you tell me, but I feel like the vacuum of space pulling you out of the ship, like trying to fight against that, seems really difficult.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how quickly things are happening here, but if there's like segments of the ship, then like it's vented, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't take long. Physics, knowledge of physics would help here. But I
Toss
accept.
physics to the side. Desperate position, limited effect.
Yep.
You've got tools to bump that up. You've got tools to bump that up. So you're not, you know.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I'm gonna use a gambit on this.
Okay.
And I can use that to increase effect, correct?
You cannot.
I cannot. Okay.
No.
But I can stress myself to increase effect.
You can push yourself to increase the effect.
Yeah,
correct.
push myself. All right. I will do that, which marks the last of my stress.
Wow.
Yep.
You're taking 2 stress, right?
Yep.
Okay.
2 stress puts me at the full stress bar.
Okay.
So I'd like to use one. I mean, use push myself to increase the effect, and I'd love to use the gambit to get a die.
I think go for it.
So it's 3d6, correct?
Yeah, you're 2 in scramble, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh boys. Wish me luck. Yes. Okay. 6 is my highest roll.
All right. That's great. You do it. You somehow pull yourself into the back into the ship right at the time that it vents and a shield comes down, closing you into the ship.
Would I infer immediately that that's the work of gears?
It might be an automated thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be gears.
Okay. Cool. So I'm in.
You're in.
And you can feel free to cut to anybody else, but I start going right back at the metal and trying to peel it back to set, set these memish pods free.
For sure. I would like another. I would like a roll.
Okay.
And I think this will. Then we'll leave you after this.
Sure.
I think this is. What do you want to use?
I think I'm still in scramble zone, man.
Okay, scramble zone. I think this is a controlled position.
Awesome. Now that
You
I'm
don't
not
have
dealing with the vent.
Yeah. Standard effect controlled position.
Standard effect control position. Okay. I will not push myself. I will not use a gamble. I will just take the 2d6.
Okay.
By gamble, I mean gambit. 2d6. Okay. 5.
Okay. So you can continue to do it. You're going to strain yourself. You're going to take the level 1 harm strained.
Oh, okay. Dude's just dishing out harm on an easy roll. Okay.
It's level 1 harm.
Yeah. I'm just saying I didn't expect to get harm on that roll, but it's all good.
I mean, you can resist it if you want. Actually, I don't know if you can because you don't have any.
I would need stress, right?
You would need some stress, or you could take a trauma, I guess, if you really wanted to resist it. But
nope, I'm happy to be strained.
Okay, all right.
That's what I meant to say, GM. I'm just so grateful.
The hole is temporarily fixed. The stasis pods are open. I am gonna need one last roll from Havoc Plex.
Yes. Real quick, Havoc will go like, Giz, how's she looking? And what's damaged, Nick?
What's damaged?
Yeah. How's her damage looking?
So you go on the radio and ask this because Gears is currently trying to fix holes, and Gears just shouts back, "Everything is broken," and that's it. That's all you get. But if you want an actual answer,
I want
if
to
you check
mechanically,
the ship's systems readout is like the hull is like falling apart, barely able to maintain atmosphere. Barely able to maintain a ship at this point. Engines damaged slightly, but still functioning. Can't take much more damage though. And yeah, that's basically the entirety of our systems except for comms, which have not taken any damage, but the moment they do, they will immediately be taken out. So
nice. And it sounds like we have 1 tick left on the clock to get to the planet.
1 tick left.
You don't need to push it this time. The ship wouldn't even be able to take it, so please don't.
All right, I'm gonna helm. I
think it's a risky position.
Probably still
standard effect.
Probably still a speed related roll, so I can potency on that. Would you say we're still avoiding capture or running a blockade?
Yeah, so
so double
both those together.
Again.
Yeah,
okay.
great effect.
All right. I don't. Gears said, well, Nick said I don't have to damage a ship system to get another die.
But you can.
Actually, I explicitly told you not to do it. But I mean, you are able to do whatever you want to do.
Can I hear a devil's bargain?
You absolutely may hear a devil's bargain. Do I have a devil's bargain for you? You can have an extra die. You can have an extra die, but you will need to make a quick landing on the planet of Mem. Probably not at the place that they told you to. And then you are going to have to find some way to get the weapons to the drop-off.
Great at quick landings. I think we'll be fine. I'll take it.
Okay.
Nick looks so comfortable and stress-free right now.
Zen. Very zen.
All right, I'm rolling trace dice, as one would say. Ooh. The highest one is a 6. I rolled a 1, a 5, and a 6.
Okay. All right. Look, it's good you did that. Because if you just
What'd you say the position was?
Risky.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a good thing you did that. Because if you just
you
rolled
get a
a 1 and
gambit
a
back,
5,
right? You didn't spend a gambit for that, did you?
correct. You get a gambit back. But if you hadn't have added that extra die, that 6, could have been a complication. But that is enough to get your ship past the blockade. You can see the port that they had told you to land at. However, you can't get there. And so you end up, there is it's like a water planet. So there's like a bunch of like islands and like floating cities above this planet. Sort of like Camino, think like that sort of vibe. And maybe 3 or 4 miles from this port that they had told you to land at, you see a long stretch of like jungle, and that is where you end up landing.
Oh, nice. I like to imagine like it's like one of those classic like, hold on, boys, it's gonna be a rough one, and we're like ramming through like trees and brush as we like skid to a stop.
Right before we hit something, Gears is like, "Why is it going to be rough?" And then just
Lito, are you sitting in the helm?
Yeah, Lito has been just like sitting there, like uncharacteristically quiet, like nervous the entire time. There's not much he can do throughout all of that. So he's just been.
Your life is just in the 3 of our hands, basically.
Yeah, you hear the distinct like creak of leather as he like releases his grip from the armrests of his chair.
White knuckled.
Yeah.
so yeah.
Couldn't see that going
Gears-
any better.
Gears has a couple more contusions after that landing. Is our ship more damaged now?
It's I will not say like mechanically, but I will say narratively, you're not going to get it flying to the port.
Gears.
Right.
Like 5 minutes after, or like a couple minutes into this, the helm door opens, and Gears just grabs Havoc out of the pilot's chair. What did you do to my ship?
Oh, I gotta see it, didn't I?
How are we gonna get off of here?
That's your job. My job was getting us here. Then Havoc will sort of like get your hands off him and adjust his jacket and walk past you.
Justin, was I able to spare the Mamish from the worst of the harm in this landing?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Gears,
And in
like,
fact,
Oh, sorry.
by getting rid of the barrier that was keeping them in there, they're probably the safest in those stasis spots. So as soon as you land, you can fully open them, and then they're fine. Well, that was what happened.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter now. What matters is finishing the job. Do you lot have access to any watercraft?
No, we are with you.
All right. I suppose bringing you was not useful after all.
Perhaps they know the land. Can you guide us through this jungle marsh thing?
We can help with that, yes.
Is it jungle straight to like is there not water that breaks up the jungle to the Oh, okay.
No, yeah, you can go on land to this
Okay.
port.
All right, Graves, you gonna pick up all the guns?
Some.
4 crates.
I think it's
Yeah,
5
we have-
crates.
Is it 5?
yeah, we have like what is
Yeah.
essentially like a dolly, but
Sure,
like
for sure.
like it hovers. so
Oh yeah.
he can pull that.
Does it all fit on a large space hover dolly?
Are there any items that meet that?
I mean, I can use it as part of my loadout, right? Or do I need to find? Oh, you're saying I need to find a specific thing?
Yeah, I want to see if there is something. Otherwise, we can play
Yeah.
with it. But if there is something that kind of fits that, I'd like for somebody to mark that off.
Okay.
Hook.
Yeah, that's not what I'm
I have a
looking for.
detonator.
But
I've
that,
a memento of a past encounter. I kept a
there we
large
go.
dolly.
That's perfect. Perfect.
I kept
Yeah.
a large.
That's
guys, can I please take this back with us?
No, let's just do this. I would like for somebody to mark off two items on their loadout.
I mean, that can be me.
I'm not even going with you guys. So
Oh, you're saying with the ship?
yeah, you want to leave?
That's gonna be his job.
No, Havoc asked that. He's like, "You coming with, Gears?"
Havoc, I don't think, one, it's a good idea for Gears to be here alone, and two, it's your fault that the ship's in this state, so why don't you stay with him, help him do the repairs?
Yeah. But the thing is, Leo, I think he's kind of mad at me.
And I
Like
think
the
that
entire time since
deserves his ire.
since you like mentioned like, hey, where are you coming? He's just been staring at you, just like, and like he has like
Yeah.
almost disconcertingly blue eyes, like they're almost white and like how bright they are, and
mean-
just like wide eyed, just staring
Oh,
at
no.
you.
Yeah, I know you and I
I,
are pretty well acquainted, but I don't know if he won't kill me.
I pat Havoc on the back and I say, I'm sure you can make it up to him one way or another. And I give him a little wink and then, all right, Graves, let's go.
Right. I've loaded up the dolly with all 5 crates.
Yep.
But it's kind
Yep.
of a slow to maneuver operation through the jungle.
For sure. Let's do this. There's so many ways we could take it. I think we watch as Carlton and the 3 Mem and Lido start walking into the jungle, and a little bit later, we're focused on Gears and Havoc. What are you doing to fix this ship? What are you talking about?
Havoc is sitting on the pilot's seat, smoking one of his victory cigars, which is a pilot-specific item that I'm checking off now. And just like reading a hollow magazine, and every now and then he's like whistling, and every now and then like, "How's it going, Gears?"
Hey, can you give me the readout for any just like some system?
All right, sure thing.
That was the wrong system.
Oh, readout, yes. Here we go.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Offline.
Hey, just keep an eye on the proximity detectors. All right.
All right, he says, still just reading the magazine.
Gears is crawling up and down the ship.
Yeah.
Patching holes. In any way, like the engines were slightly damaged, so like replacing like burned out components and like jury rigging some stuff, but you know we've had some cred. We've had a steady stream of cred, so we're not like completely out of parts. I'm just trying to put everything together.
Give me an action.
I think it is a rig.
I think you're right. I think at this moment it's controlled, and I think it's a standard effect.
It's nice to do something that's controlled and standard every now and then, you know?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't hurt.
After what we just went through.
So you had a bad day.
Right. Yeah, I'll just roll that straight. Sorry, I was debating.
All right. No, I get
it. 6.
Hey, you do it. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 to the clock that I have just made, called Able to Get to Port. How about that?
Well, since it's a clock that I'm working on, whenever I roll a rig for a clock, I get
an
plus 1
extra one.
segment.
Yep, so 3. So you're halfway to being able to get it functioning to moving to port.
Awesome.
I think, though, that Havoc, you are sitting in the pilot seat, reading your Holo magazine, when the proximity alert goes ding, ding, and you see a figure that is moving closer and closer to the ship.
Guess we got a bogey on the radar. Approaching.
You look out of the cockpit and see trees falling down as this giant horned toad comes lumbering out of the forest.
No. No. Gears?
What?
It's a massive beast, quickly approaching.
And go shoot it. Why are you talking to me
All
about it?
right. Havoc will grab his heavy blaster, which I'm marking off now.
Love it. Love it.
It basically just looks like a minigun.
For sure. Like a railgun type.
Yeah, he just grabs it and runs out down the ramp over to the front of the ship.
Yeah. This thing is now hopped in front of your ship. It is looking straight at your ship like it is going to be the tastiest snack it has ever had.
Hey,
you can see that its tongue is getting ready to...
Bad frog! Bad frog! Go away!
Get out of here! Go! You're just trying to yell at it?
Yeah, for now. I'm like, go!
Okay.
Away!
All right. Give me an action.
I would like to argue for consort.
Consort. Is that really the one you want to go with?
No, I feel like command makes the most sense, but I have 0 pips in there.
Yeah, I do think command. I mean, look, you do what you want to do. You want to do consort?
I think if we're going with the fiction, Havoc's definitely trying to command this frog.
Okay.
To leave the ship.
All right. I think then that is, rather than a desperate position of consorting with it, a risky position. I think it's a limited effect.
All right. I'm going to roll. It's a stressful situation, so I think it makes sense to push myself.
Okay.
So I'm rolling 1 dice. To yell at this frog.
Go on, get!
And that, my friends, is a 3.
Okay. Yeah, so this thing pays absolutely no attention to you at all, and its tongue goes boom and sticks onto the front windshield of the ship.
Oh, no.
All right. At this point, Havoc will sprint back into the ship, into the cockpit.
Okay.
Are any of our weapon systems still active?
You have a 0 in weapons. You could turn them on. You're rolling 2 dice and taking the lower.
Do it.
Yeah. And while I'm at it, I'll blare on the horn.
Why'd you shoot it?
With
You
your
don't have a
hand.
horn. It's a fucking spaceship.
We have a horn.
We have a horn. The pilot put a horn on.
Flashback. We have a horn.
We have a horn. I want you to take 4 stress for that. No,
I would just love to see Gear's frustration if he realizes that Havoc at some point acquired and
installed
put a horn,
horn
into
the ship.
That can't even be heard in the vacuum of space.
Yeah, it's just there. I think as you're like starting to turn on the weapons so you can fire them at this frog, I would like to go back to Gears. Gears, I assume you have heard the commotion over the radio. What are you doing?
Well, does Havoc tell me that he runs back into the ship?
Nope.
I don't think I'm like paying enough attention. Like I'm still just trying to fix the ship.
You're just trying to fix the ship?
Yeah, should I just roll to fix more?
Please.
I like this just being a Havoc and Frog vignette, you know?
It's controlled again, and I think it's standard.
Okay. Rolling rig. This time I only rolled a 4.
Okay. Yeah, if you do it, you're gonna do it with reduced effect. So we'll just take two off instead of 3.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay. You know, like maybe you start to tighten something, and you realize that the energy conduit that it's connected to is also broken. So you're like, oh, I have to go and like fix the energy conduit so that the energy can flow through. Meanwhile, Havoc, you are, I'm assuming, screaming in the cockpit as you turn on these weapons.
Yeah, like, ah! I'm speaking in the loudspeakers, which we have. Go on! Away with you!
Get on, get!
And surprisingly, Gears hears none of this where he is in the ship.
Yeah, I'm like deep in like the engine core.
Go ahead and if you're rolling with weapons, give me 2 dice and take the lower.
Okay.
Oh, it's sorry, I should tell you. It's risky for sure.
Yeah.
What is your intent? What are you trying to do?
Mostly scare it. Of how this is like a huge thing, right? It's like a huge frog.
Okay, it's a huge frog.
Yeah.
Probably as big as your ship.
Yeah, and I don't feel like we'll be able to do too much damage to it with our barely functioning weapons.
Then I would say it's standard if you're trying to scare it with your weapons.
I'm trying to scare it off, just get it to run back in the direction it came.
Yeah,
but I did roll 2 5s.
Hey, okay. So you do it, but there's a consequence.
He's just blaring on the guns, which surprisingly Gears still does not hear.
Here's what happens. You are firing these weapons, and one of these weapons hits the frog. And it lets out a croak of pain and slinks back into the forest for but a moment before you hear an even deeper rumble.
That was just the baby.
As its mom comes out of the forest.
Never assume you already have the mama.
A part of me wants to resist. A part of me wants to resist this consequence, but I also really want to see it play out.
You want to resist it? You can. You certainly can.
Okay, I have a question first before it. Would you? Yeah. So, because of Ace Pilot, it says when I roll to resist the consequences of piloting, I gain a die. I was in the pilot seat.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. So how does resisting work again? I roll 1 dice.
This is probably going to be a. Give me just 1 second.
Sorry, I should know this.
GM guide. I think this is probably a. Well, tell me how. What do you? How do you resist it?
I'm thinking if I see the mom start to approach, I'll just keep shooting.
Sure. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think then in that case, it's probably a resolve.
Resolve?
Yeah.
You wouldn't say prowess?
I would not say prowess. No, I would say
Okay.
that it's seeing an even larger alien frog, you have to like steel yourself to be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I have to respond right at this moment. Otherwise, this is really bad.
All right. I will accept resolve. I'll allow it. All right. I roll a 2.
So 2, what is it? 4 stress? 4
Yes.
stress? And
So
you...
that I had 3
Yeah,
stress remaining.
Oh, so you take a trauma?
Yeah, I take a trauma.
Oh,
Is this
wonderful.
our first trauma?
This is our first trauma.
It's the first
That's
trauma.
that is
Frog
wonderful.
trauma.
It's because of a giant frog.
Because of a giant.
I'm just trying to give Gears time to fix the ship.
Frog. Oh my gosh, that is fun. That is fun. Where
Reckless?
is my list of trauma? Reckless
Haunted.
is a good one.
Haunted by frogs.
You have a fear of frogs now?
Yeah.
Frog phobia.
Frog phobia. There's got to be a name for that. I wonder what the name for that actually is. Here it is.
Ranidophobia.
Ranidophobia?
Ranidophobia. That's an intense fear of
Okay.
frogs.
What do you think makes the most sense here?
Honestly, paranoid. Reckless. Haunted does kind of make sense. I think paranoid or reckless might be the 2 that I'm leaning towards.
Yeah, what do you want to play up? I'll let you pick.
I feel like reckless makes the most sense just for Havoc in general.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Reckless. But it does give Gears enough time. You scare it off. I'm not going to make Gears roll another because it's just one segment left. You're probably going to get that no matter what. So, the thing too, though, is you're taken out of the action, Havoc.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's probably like an anxiety attack. Right? So Gears, you like fix the engine and you come up and you just see Havoc just like on the ground.
And you see the ship's guns through the cockpit just like smoking. And they're like the tips of them are like burning orange.
Hey, are you okay? Gears like crouches down next to you.
Those frogs, you know, natives to Mem.
They just really got you, huh?
Yeah, it's really big.
I think I might have underestimated how big they were when you told me
It was
about
just a baby, after all. And the mom came.
killed the old bait and switch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's this time on the ground reading the magazine, smoking a cigar, just laying on his side.
I'm just gonna let you do your thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, and I'll just go into the pilot's seat and pilot the ship.
Yep. Meanwhile, I think the most interesting thing is to have you get to the port. You come out of the jungle and walk up to one of the ports where ships can dock, and someone walks up to the two of you and says, excuse me, sorry, where are you coming from? There is a planetary blockade. There should not be any deliveries in or out of Mem. Who are you and what are you doing here?
So this person doesn't sound memish, I take it, Justin.
No, it's a human.
Do they look like they're with Hegemony? Like based on outfit, badge, anything?
They no, they're not Hegemony, but they're not Mem. They're just somebody who works on the planet and oversees,
Mm-hmm.
the spaceport.
Are there a lot of other people around?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
There are other workers and whatnot.
We're here on an important mission. And I am dressed right now like one of I forget the name of the faction, but I'm going to use my fine clothes where I can be dressed for any occasion. And the occasion I'm dressed for is to pretend to be a hegemonic spy.
I
Very
like this a lot. I would also like, it sounds like a flashback too. It sounds like something you prepared for in the past. How did you acquire these hegemonic spy? This hegemonic spy outfit?
So this is a well I'm going to try not to keep going to, but Vanna her family's well connected, and so I've taken advantage of her family's connections on multiple occasions, and like kind of subtly suggested she's taken me to parties and things like that where I can kind of slip away and steal an item here or there that won't necessarily be readily missed, but will definitely be advantageous for me to have. And so there's a handful of things I've acquired, and this is one of them.
All right. That sounds like too stress to me. Sounds like too stress to me. What do you say?
We are an important mission for the hegemony. Now, I wouldn't want to be the one who stands in the way of making sure everything up there ends in our favor. Would you want to be the one who does that?
That sounds like an action to me.
Yeah, I think it's a sway.
That sounds close. Let's see. Don't roll yet. Yeah. Influence someone with guile, charm, or logic. Is there like an intimidate too? Or is that
I think sway would still be what I would use for.
It's still Yep. Okay. I think sway is right. I think it's a risky position, but a standard effect.
Okay. Could I get a devil's bargain? I just want to hear what it would be.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get the extra die. I will create a 4-segment clock, and I will mark one off of it on like suspicious of your activity.
Okay. I'm not going to take the devil's bargain. I'm just going to roll two dice.
Okay.
Got a 5 and a 6, so got a 6.
Great. Add a gambit.
Nice. Whoever's keeping track of our gambit, add that gambit.
Sorry.
Mix on it.
I didn't know that Governor Moncrief was sending anybody. Sorry, just please go to the city.
Of course.
Yes.
Thank you. And I look at Graves and just nod.
Graves just kind of scowls at the peon on the way out.
As you're walking away, the attendant will be like, make sure your servants too don't cause too much trouble.
I'll see that they won't.
Not a servant.
You shut your mouth. You know who you work for. I'm still working on this one.
Graves' eyes flash at you, Leto.
Shouldn't even really be out in public.
Do you want me to carry all of this myself? I don't think so, my goodman.
Don't. What are you carrying, by the way?
If that was any of your business, you would know, wouldn't you?
I understand. What would you like me to put down in the logs?
Whatever suits your fancy, my goodman. I frankly don't care. We need to be on our way, though.
Right. vintage pornography.
Wonderful.
5 grades. What on earth? 4 House Muckleaf. We have needs in House Muckleaf.
We have needs.
The governor has needs.
As you're walking through Mem, you don't see any Xenos. You don't see any Mem or any other Xenos. They're all human. They're all giving you like looks of dissatisfaction. Some are shaking their head at you. You hear like, shouldn't even be out. Can't believe he lets them out in public. This is what a travesty.
Does it look like most of this is directed at Graves or at the Memish who are walking with us? Or
both of you.
Is it hard to... Okay.
Yeah.
So just general Xeno kind of
As we walk, I want to look at one of the Mem and be, where the fuck are we supposed to drop these guns off?
This way, the lower corridor. And they lead you to an elevator that goes down. But outside of the elevator, there are about 4 or 5 humans that step in your way. Yeah, they're not supposed to be up here. We're gonna have to teach you a lesson.
What does it look like?
They're like brandishing bats and other like blunt object weapons.
I understand that they're not supposed to be up here. You see where we're headed, don't you? What does it look like we're doing? I'm putting them where they belong.
You brought them up here.
My goodman, you have no idea what's going on. You see me bringing them back down is all that's happening here.
Go ahead and give me an action.
I'm debating between, I kind of like want this to be a bit of a command. I think I'm going to lean toward command.
Okay.
And I am going to push myself as well.
Okay. I like command. I think it's a risky position. I think it's a standard effect. I think force is a bit more convincing to these people than just trying to like logic your way down.
Yeah, I think I end it with like, now it's time for you to get out of the way before I have my manservant teach you a lesson. And I'm also going to use one of our gambit.
Okay.
Not as good as a 5.
What is it?
Oh, 5.
Oh, 5. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He said
Sorry.
not as good. It's a 5.
I thought you said not as good as a 5, and I'm like,
is
it a 1 to? Is it a 1 to 3? Is it a 4? Because a 4 and a 5 are equal to each other. Oh, okay. Okay. We've got our eye on you. They step out of your way.
Wonderful. All right. Chop, boys. Down the elevator.
As soon as we get everything out of that elevator and the doors close behind us, Graves just grunts and goes, I don't like Mem.
Planet or the people? People have been lovely so far.
The planet.
Yeah, the planet is... I mean, honestly, it's my kind that's the problem here. Also, remember, when we are in public and people assume that you're my servant, it's in our best interest for you to just play along. I know you don't work for me. You know you don't work for me. It doesn't matter to the rest of them.
Fine.
Good.
You get down, and when the doors open, a very different scene than the top side of Mem. This is in the heart of these like large structures that are kind of like floating and sitting right above the water. The steel is everywhere. There's no sunlight. It's just dark, and like water is dripping down the walls. And you see a bunch of Mem that live down here. And eventually you're led to just this nondescript house. This is where we are to drop it off. There will not be anybody inside. We drop it and leave. No connection.
Very well. Let's do it then.
Graves pushes it as directed.
Oh, wonderful.
Now, I think we need to come up with some sort of a gambit to get you all back to the surface without trouble, no?
That would be appreciated.
Do we have any sort of restraints?
That could
Do
be
you?
part of loadout, right?
If we
You
have
see if
it,
it fits. An
you
item
got it.
can't just like
appropriate.
be magically part
Yeah.
of your thing. You have to like have acquired
Yeah.
it or have it.
It has to be like a muscle item in my case, right? All the muscle items are weapons. Okay. Oh, that's hilarious.
I guess over the
We could look for
communicator,
something
I'm
down
gonna
here.
say, Gears, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Have you gotten the ship working? Can you meet us at one of the ports?
Yep, we're on our
All right,
way.
which port will you be at? Yeah, just pick a number. Yeah, 5.
5.
All right. We'll be there. Be ready for tell Havoc to be ready to take off quickly.
He's a little out of commission
Well,
right
then
now.
if you're flying, it needs to be quick, and we will not be coming. We will most likely not be alone. Just be prepared.
Sounds lovely.
All right.
Thank you.
I look at Graves and the mem. I think, gentlemen, our best bet is for. I know that these weapons of the resistance here. I think each of you should take something small, concealable, easily carried, and hide it. We'll pretend you're restrained. I will take you to the surface. And we may need to fight our way to the port. Hopefully we don't need to, but it may become necessary.
You do not want to just have your friends stay down here?
Do you three want to stay down here?
We are part of the resistance.
If you're comfortable staying, that's fine by me. Me and Graves will make our way on our own.
We have needed here.
Wonderful. Then you stay. And Graves, mad dash that may end in our deaths?
Good.
Wonderful.
Just no binding.
No, you won't be bound. Don't worry. I know how you feel about it. All right. I can't remember any of your names, but I wish you the best of luck.
Burn.
Water, fire. Yes, he's got it. That one.
Wonderful. His memory is impeccable. Mine, on the other hand, not so great with things that aren't going to be important the next day.
Here's radios in and says, "Hey, we're securing that payment, right?"
Yes, we
I
will
just
be
wanted to...
momentarily. Yes.
Okay. Cuts back out.
Yes. Before we part ways, there is the issue of the 6 cred.
No, of course. Please, Water, give them the credits. Water reaches into a satchel and pulls out a cred stick and hands it to Carlton. Carlton, there's a phrase that, like a greeting and a send off that the Dyranek gang use, and it has like a resistance feel to it. What is that? What is that thing that they say when people in the Dyranek gang part ways?
Burn it all down.
They put the water puts the cred stick in your hand and goes, burn it all down.
Graves looks with a smirk at Burn as well, whose name seems fitting for this. We will. Just not today.
Do not forget what you have seen down here.
Wonderful.
Your naming tradition is full of honor. Graves takes the stick and starts walking away.
One more thing. Before we go, as Graves is walking away, make sure that you target the superiors. The hegemony does not function well without order. You get rid of the head, you kill the snake. You understand?
There's not a saying with the BEM, but I believe I understand.
Just target officers, not infantrymen. Your quarrel is not with the lower, but with the upper.
We thank you for your wisdom. We will consider it.
As always, it has been an honor earning your money. Goodbye. And I turn and kind of jog to catch up to Graves.
You guys get back on the elevator, go back up to the top. When the elevator opens, that gang is still there.
Mm-hmm.
They do not look like they are going to be tossed down out of this one. As soon as you step out, they begin rushing towards you.
Just
with their
immediately.
weapons.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That was the consequence.
Yeah, would I surmise that this is just because a Xeno is back at the upper level?
They were waiting. They knew that you would come back up here. They were going to let you go and then just basically jump you as soon as you come back
jump.
up.
Yep.
Okay. How many of them are there?
There are 7 now. And I think that they're kind of broken up. So there's like 6 that are kind of in front of Carlton. And I think that there's 1 in front of Vito. Because I think that plays to your strengths.
I know you mentioned bats before. I'm just curious if you have like just a few more details for me on what's kind of
yes,
in play.
Absolutely. They're not like wooden baseball bats. They're baseball bat shaped. They're sort of metal. They've got rings around it, and as you look closely, they're like vibrating. Like the tips of them are vibrating.
Does that seem like electrical? Is it recognizable, or is it kind of like foreign tech?
It doesn't look electrical. There's no sparks or anything.
Okay. All right. Lito, do you want to comment first, or do you want me to do what I do?
I think Lito's only commentary would be yes, I say don't hold back, Goodman. Kill as many as you can.
Yeah, Justin, if you allow me the liberty to narrate something that just happened successfully, you can make me roll partway into this. I just want the first kill to be smooth.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So Graves charges as they charge. He takes a hit from one of these like quivering bat things.
Yeah.
And after kind of feeling the sting from it, just wrenches it out of the hands of one guy and shoves it down the mouth of another guy, just like straight through the back of his head.
I don't know if I'm going to let you just do that.
Yeah, this is a lot to just have.
Yeah, it's a lot to just have. I think it's a roll in there to see if you do this.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I get some descriptive liberty at the top of the.
That is what you
fight.
want. That is what you want to happen.
Yeah, anything else can happen.
I love that. Go ahead and tell me what action you think that is.
Oh, I mean, this is definitely your traditional scrap.
Sounds like a scrap to me.
Pips. Yeah.
I think it's a risky position. I think it would normally be a limited effect going up against all these people because you are the muscle, because of the moves you've chosen. It is a standard effect.
Okay. Okay. Very good. How many gambits do we have left?
Well, you do have to have to push yourself to engage the small gang on equal footing.
Oh, you're saying you're assuming I use unstoppable. Is that right?
Sorry, if you don't want to use unstoppable, then
yeah. So this makes me curious because we
effect.
haven't gotten into this mechanically. How abysmal are my odds if I just don't use unstoppable and fight? I'm curious.
Yeah, I would say then that you are on limited effect.
Okay.
It's a limited effect then.
Because if I push myself now, it's guaranteed trauma, I think. Because I'm at full stress already. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're full.
Yeah, I'm at full stress.
I think you have trauma then.
Oh, it's at the point of filling the stress bar. That's right. It's not like fatigue in Avatar Legends.
When did you mark that last trauma?
Oh, the last stress I marked was in relation to freeing up the mem pods and peeling back the metal.
Man.
No, what? Oh.
You've done quite a lot since then. I'll tell you what.
All I've actually done is walk around with a cart since then.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I've done most of the
So
roles.
it's just manifesting now, you know?
I just mean it would be vastly different if you also had the trauma and couldn't have gone with Lido to do this at all. I will let you do this. Here. Yeah, we're all learning. It's a new game. I will let you do this thing. I will even let you push yourself.
Okay.
To make that standard effect if you want. However, I'm going to make this now a desperate position.
Okay. I think I will push.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is gonna you'll be out. You'll take them out, but you'll also be out as well too.
Okay. Whenever you get trauma, you're just out.
Correct.
You're out of scene essentially.
You're taken out. Yep.
Okay. Good to know. So yeah, I mean, so is that push then? That I can use unstoppable with that push?
You can. Yep. You also get the other effect as well too. So you can either increase the effect or take another extra die.
Yeah, I'll increase the effect because you dropped it down, right?
I did not. I decreased the position.
Yeah, the position is just real low.
So if you want to make it a great effect, that's fine. Yeah. So it's a desperate position. If you want to push yourself to increase the effect, it'd be great effect.
Yeah, I'll push to great effect.
Okay.
And I'll use Wrecking Crew for the extra 1d.
For the extra die.
In melee.
And we also have 3 gambits still.
I'll cash in one of the 3 gambits. That'll put me at 4d6.
Go for it. Yeah, that's
great. Because we really do need to get out of here. So let's make this swing count.
Yeah.
Okay, 5.
Okay. So there's a consequence. I will not let you resist this since you should have been traumatized out.
Yep.
I want you to take the level 2 harm bruised and bloodied.
Okay.
And you also have the trauma. I think probably cold. I kind of want to lean into like what you've seen on Mem and have this moment be the trauma. I think there's something about seeing this that kind of tempers your emotions a little bit.
Okay.
Wouldn't Vicious work better for that? Like he's
I was thinking
more angry
it was
now?
between Vicious and cold.
Because he cold, like he like folds up instead of lashing out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy for you to. So this is something you choose, correct, Justin?
It can be together. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I'm open to cold, vicious, or unstable. Personally.
Cold doesn't work for me, just in the sense that like how Graves has been like reaching out to.
Yeah, I just had a good
The
moment with
mem.
the Memish. Yeah.
Sure. Let's do
And-
vicious then.
So like vicious is like
Yeah.
when he gets to those situations
Yeah.
where he's angry.
Let's do
he's
vicious
just,
then. Let's do vicious then.
nuts.
And for our listeners, vicious is labeled you seek out opportunities to hurt people even for no good reason.
Yeah.
So there's sort of a temperament shift happening with this trauma.
Yeah. I like that. And we haven't said this before, but you and I have talked about this, that there's almost like a battle rage that comes over Ramden. And when they come out of it, they're kind of catatonic for a little bit. So you take out these 6 other gang members, and then you're just kind of there breathing heavy. Lito, what do you do as this one person approaches you?
So I think I'm imagining this being totally concurrent. And so I want to do a double roll if I can. I want to roll to try and distract them, because that's the only way I can do anything physically to them, is if I have them distracted first.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I mean, let's start with the distract thing. What do you do to distract them?
So I say, I like look behind them and make my eyes go wide. And I say, are you sure you want to do this with the authorities on their way?
Oh, I like that. What action do you think that is?
I want to do sway, but I don't know. It's up if that fits.
No, it's up to you. I think it's risky, and I think it's a standard effect. I like that.
I'm not going to add anything to this. I'm just going to roll straight, which is okay. I got another 6.
Okay, great. He turns around, and I think whatever you do next is a controlled position.
So I'm going to use Skulk, and I want to come up behind him and pull out a dagger that I have that is a very specific dagger, but we can get that another time. And I just want to like slit his throat from behind.
Oh, nice. Controlled position, we'll say standard effect.
This time I am going to use a gambit.
Okay.
Another 6. So the other one was a 1. So I'm really glad the one that wasn't a 1 was
amazing. Amazing. You do this very quickly, and when you turn around, Carlton has already taken out the other 6 gang members, but he is just standing there, catatonic.
At this point, can I be flying over with the ship and see them like in a brawl, essentially, and just pull down?
I mean, they're in the I mean, do you have a way to like? It's like a really cramped alley. It's not like a port,
right? Just like hovering off the ground, just at the edge of the alley, where it's a little bit wider street.
Okay, maybe there's like a okay, all right, sure.
Not like going right up to them, landing.
I understand.
I mean, like I'm like
close. I take it
very danger close. So
I dig it. I'm gonna need an action roll though.
Helm probably
makes sense.
What position and effect do I have?
I think it's risky, and I think it's a standard position.
Got devil's bargain.
Do I have a devil's bargain? I do have a devil's bargain. The devil's bargain is that more of these gang members will start coming towards them and will start firing. So there'll be some like laser fire that Lito will have to dodge out of the way to jump onto the ship.
Cool. I'll do that. Looks cooler.
You're welcome, Lito.
Yeah.
If I die, I die.
That is a 5.
Okay. There is a all right. I think it's a reduced effect sort of thing. You've got a moment. Like Lito You see this happening. You've got one chance. Gears can only hold it this close for a moment for you to jump on.
Can I resist that consequence?
Can.
Make it easier?
You absolutely can, yes.
So I roll with my best?
I think this is a prowess resistance.
So just one anyways. All right. I'll spend a gambit. No. I can do that on resistance.
Can you?
No?
I don't know if you can. No, you can't. You just...
Oh.
Nope.
All right. I'm sorry.
Powerless to resist.
4. I don't... So I take 2 stress then, right?
So 2 stress, yep.
Good thing I wasn't marking stress earlier.
And it's still a desperate position now, Leto, as you see other gang members like running at you and starting to fire weapons. But you no longer have to worry about Gears pulling the ship away.
I grab Graves's like wrist and just start like I don't even try to say anything. I just start trying to like pull him along with me.
Just grabbing him. This sounds like an action. It sounds like you're trying to get to the ship and onto it. What do you think it is?
It's something physical that I can't do.
What action here?
Leto
You're swaying him to follow you?
I mean, maybe swaying Graves, but that's not getting on the ship unless I can use sway for the whole thing.
I mean, you can pick sway. Look, you can pick sway. I'm gonna adjust the position and effect. So it sounds like in this, what you're trying to do is to get Graves to have just enough wherewithal to help you get onto the ship.
Trying to get through to him. Yeah.
I'm down for that. I think it's a desperate position and a limited effect.
Do you have a devil's bargain for me?
I do have a devil's bargain. You can take an extra die, and I will let you get onto the ship. You'll get caught in the crossfire. You'll take some harm.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I shouldn't have. Not
Johnny.
The 2.
A 2.
The 2.
Carlton, you come to like just enough to hear like it's like, you know, slow motion and the sound starts coming in. Leto's like, you run. We need to run right now. So you start running. You see the ship. You jump onto it. You turn around. Leto is not quite on the ship. He's close, but he's been hit. I would like for you to take the level 2 harm.
Bullet hole.
Shot. Yeah, bullet hole. I like that.
Blaster wound? Or is it
Blaster
a
me or
wound?
Graves?
Yeah, blaster wound makes more sense.
Okay,
Leto.
I figured it just wasn't super clear because you were saying that to Graves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I activate the ship's weapons?
Oh, you certainly may. You certainly may.
Say hello to
Leader's on the
Heat.
ground. Leader's on the ground. There's a bunch of dudes.
How does
activate the weapon
armor
systems.
work?
Do you have
Can
stress?
Expend my armor to not
To go?
take that damage?
Oh,
Oh,
you can. It'll reduce it to a level
Okay.
1 harm.
I will do that.
fair.
So mark that item slots you need to, and we'll just say singed.
Okay.
How about that? Level 1 harm singed.
Yeah. There was a reason I took heavy
Well
load.
done.
Please, you're going to use your weapons. I'm assuming to make them back off enough to give Leto a moment to get onto the ship.
Mhm.
Please roll your systems weapons.
Which is 0 pips.
0, yeah. It's I think risky standard. It'll give Leto a moment to get on.
I rolled a 4 and a 5, so I'd get a 4.
A 4. But hey,
Right?
you still do it. There's a consequence you suffer harm. Or complication occurs. You do. They do back off. The gang backs off. And it gives Leto the moment to get onto the ship. I'm not going to make Leto roll. They're not firing anymore. They're trying to dodge the ship's weapons. However, some hegemony police cars, police ships pull up. Say, stop your engines. We're going to need to escort you back to port.
How ridiculous. I just gun it.
Yep. Wonderful. Give me an action.
I'm rolling to get away, so I'm assuming it's a helm.
It is a helm, yeah. And I think you get that +1 from escaping, right?
Potency, I believe.
Potency,
That's
yeah.
what it is.
Great.
Plus one potency.
Yeah. Let's say it's great effect then. We'll say risky, great effect.
If we have more gambit, you should use that
Great
too.
effect. I'm spending the gambit.
How many
Gambit
dice
away.
You got I'm at 2.
You're at 2. Can I help?
Yes.
Can I assist? Can I
Tell me how you help.
as I get into the ship, I don't even stop to address my wounds. I just take the top half of my armor off and sit down in the co-pilot's chair and start just kind of go into autopilot myself, start pushing the correct buttons and all that.
Sure. I love that.
So that's 3 dice.
Yep. Take that stress, get that die.
Please.
All right. It's a 5.
Okay.
3 or 4.
Yes.
3, 4, 5.
Both Graves and Havoc are basically useless right now.
I'm so close to getting a trauma myself. It's ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
I'm so stressed out.
I think though you do it, so you escape. I just want to figure out what the complication is. You know what it is? I think it's like a mental harm, overtaxed or strained or something like that.
You thinking about resisting, Nick?
Yeah. But then I run the risk of getting trauma.
Yeah, man, that could
I only
backfire.
have 1 free stress.
Yeah, same.
That's low level harm, man. You can patch up that brain real good.
All right. I'll take
Okay.
what was it? Sorry.
We'll say I don't know, overtaxed. I don't know if that makes sense.
Exhausted.
Yeah, exhausted, something like that. But you peel away much faster than the ships can chase after you. I will not make you guys roll to get past the blockade again. They're much more interested in keeping ships out than they are keeping ships in, as that is much harder to do. You guys go back to Warren?
Yeah, sure.
We don't have any
Unless
heat there.
Leto tries to steer us elsewhere. What's that?
No, I wouldn't try to steer us elsewhere. I think Warren is a place that makes sense to go back to.
It makes the most sense, yeah.
Okay. Well, you have done it. Not without some
complications,
some traumas, some complications, and some consequences. But 6 cred, that's a bit of cash.
Yeah, man.
And I think we're going to have to find out what you decide to do with that cash next episode, when we figure out all of the complications that arose out of this job what you
Pete
guys
for
decide
sure,
to do.
man.
That'll be an easy
Oh
job.
man. It's never gonna be an easy job. It always sounds like it's gonna be an easy job, but it's
No.
never gonna be an easy job. Because where would be the fun in that? If
That's
every
right.
job was just like, hey, we got there, we did it, we're gone, we wouldn't be having
Well,
fun.
so far we haven't had a job like that.
Yeah.
And apparently we
And
never will.
I don't think a
so.
job is
never
ever going to
will.
offer 6 cred and be as easy as that one sounded. Like,
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna start
Yeah.
doing like pizza deliveries in my downtime to kind of cope with like the
Honestly.
light smuggle energy. You know, it's like
Futurama, the tabletop RPG, will just deliver pizza.
that's right.
so funny.
Oh man. Well, thank you all for joining us on yet another just fun job. That one was a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this system and trying to just push it as far as I can and see what happens to you all.
Support us on Patreon.
Support us on
Please.
Patreon.
We need support
Or
somewhere.
here on Twitch.
Yeah, someone needs to support these people.
Justin's
or
not gonna
Twitch.
support us.
Yeah, he's trying
we
to kill
are-
us.
Yeah.
We are a Twitch affiliate now, so you can subscribe
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
sub
if
to
you're an Amazon
this
Prime
channel,
user,
which
if
is
you're an
crazy.
Amazon Prime user, you can sub using your Prime subscription if you're not already subbed, and that you don't have to spend the money. So it helps us.
There you
Yeah.
go. Bada bing, bada boom. Helps me kill these people faster.
Oh my
Stop.
I don't know how it does.
Please
I
but-
really
stop.
thought Havoc was flying us into a TPK at a certain point in that.
Yeah, no, I really. Well, I think another thing that has made this worse is that like we haven't gotten into a single one of these jobs with like even remotely okay
Yeah,
position.
no.
at the
Yeah.
Because
beginning.
Justin
Yeah.
rolls.
And
I'll
that
tell you
really
what,
sets
for us
the
to go
tone.
in.
It does. I'll tell you what. I will let one of you roll the engagement roll
I'll do it.
Oh.
next week. Okay,
Yeah, and it's still gonna go poorly. Okay.
I will let you roll it. I'll just tell you how many dice to roll.
I don't have actual figures on this,
Okay.
Nick, but I think percentage-wise, I've done double sixes like by a crazy
Yeah.
margin this
Most-
during this
most
campaign.
often,
So.
Give,
Yeah.
give it to Johnny.
Yeah, we'll let John do it.
I'm gonna laugh when Johnny rolls just
I
1
know.
to 3.
I
It's,
just feel-
it's gonna
I
be
feel
the
it coming.
it's gonna be the
I feel it
funniest
coming.
thing in the entire world. We will see what happens next week. Thank you so much for listening to us, and we'll see you soon, Space Scoundrels. Bye.
Oh.
Thanks.
Bye.
Oh, what a time! What a day!